For our next workshop, we're going to have our experiences, and I have the pleasure of actually introducing our next speaker, who's actually our MC. So Shyam Patel earned his Bachelor's of Science in Economics and AS in Film Production. He currently works as a business professional for a multinational banking company. He has been a part of the Jay Sachidanand Sangh since the age of 3 and a local follower of the holistic science approach of inner living. Put your hands together and please welcome Mr. Shyam Patel.
Thank you, Manan and Jay Sachidanand, everyone. I wanted to share an experience I had a few years ago and how it relates to my understanding of holistic inner living. In 2010, I decided to switch career paths and pursue a passion of mine, which was film. And I met a colleague at school who became somewhat of a lifeline for me. Whenever I needed help, he was always there for me and very encouraging. And one day he fell ill, and he asked me to take some copious notes in class and relay any pertinent information that I learned back to him. So on this particular day, there was a recruiter that came to our class, and he informed us of this really prestigious internship that was available to all the students, but there was a really strict deadline. And so at this time, I had this overwhelming sense of competition, and all these negative vibrations came to me of greed and ego and deceit, and I decided not to tell him. And the reasoning is because he was at the top of our class, and I figured if he interviewed for the position, he was going to get it, and I would be left behind. So I didn't tell him, and the deadline passed, and I interviewed for the position, and I ended up getting an offer letter. And so I had this offer letter in my hand, and what was supposed to be a time of celebration became a time of despair and sadness because I did not achieve that in the proper way. And so a couple weeks went by, and I went to satsang, and this question was posed at satsang that really changed my understanding of the situation. And it was a really short question, but it had a lasting impact on me. And that question was, does a rose blossom, or does a mango ripen in competition with anything? And of course, it's a rhetorical question, and the answer is no. And so at this time, all I was thinking about was, I attained this goal of mine, but I had no inner happiness. In life, you could attain all the riches you want, and you could have all these external items at your disposal, but if you're morally bankrupt inside, nothing is going to matter. And so from this, I learned that kind of normality is the true essence of life, and that, competition, the only competition you should have in life is with yourself. And by that I mean not directly, but indirectly. You should always strive to be better and climb the ladder, but you shouldn't do it if it's going to compromise your integrity and your values. And so this is just one of many humbling experiences I've had being a part of the Sangh and being a part of HSCRF. So thank you for listening. Our next speaker earned his Bachelor's of Science in Economics and Psychology from the University of California, San Diego. He has been working in the corporate world for the last 7 years as a sales rep, and most recently a district sales manager for a Fortune 1000 company. He is an active participant of HSCRF and is also a young leader of the Jay Sachidanand Sangh. Please welcome Manan Vaishnav. It's like my brother, so I accidentally said the title.
We kind of look alike, so I guess that might work. I actually had a beard like a month ago, and I just shaved it recently.
To look different.
To look different, right? Okay. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there. For me personally, I didn't grow up with a father, so my father is Ganodadaji and really my master. So I want to wish him happy Father's Day as well. So So Vijay Uncle called me last Saturday, I believe it was. Where's Vijay Uncle? I think it was Saturday, right? Friday or Saturday. And he asked me to share my experience for this holistic seminar. And I said, absolutely, I'd love to share my experience. So, so after I got off the phone with him, I was kind of thinking about, what did I want to share my experience about? And I've had some different experiences, along my life and whatnot. But I thought I'd take a little bit of a novel approach to an experience. And so what I mean by that was, my guru Dadaji always talks about doing experiments, right? And he's always talking about you're a scientist and you should be doing experiments on yourself. And so that actually came to mind right after I hung up the phone with Vijay Uncle. And so what I ended up, deciding to do was I ran an experiment for this last week. And so starting on Saturday, which was last Saturday, up until yesterday, I ran a little small experiment, and basically I'm going to share those results with you guys today. So what the experiment was in our science we have this slope or this chant, and it's basically it's called Dada Bhagwana Asim Jai Karo, right? And it literally, or loosely, or not literally, but loosely, it translates to forever prevail the positive, pure soul within you and everybody. And so I decided to try the slope or the chant out. And so what I did was, starting on Saturday, was I woke up every day in the morning, early in the morning, and anywhere between 8 and 40 minutes, I basically chanted this sloka. And what I did was, so I sat in my own room and I closed my eyes. So basically, I visualized what I was chanting. So my mind was focused on the words. I was obviously speaking the chant as well. And then I was also doing some clapping, some light clapping or some tapping. So in essence, my body was also focused on the words as well. So in reality, I had my mind, speech, and body in oneness with this chanting. And so I did that, right? And my expectations, I didn't expect, anything, super extraordinary to happen to me. And I don't think anybody here would probably expect that either. I didn't win the lotto or anything like that. But to my surprise, over the last 6 days, after conducting this experiment, this last week has been one of the most happiest weeks I've ever experienced. Positive occurrences and just unbelievable favorable circumstances have come to me. And I don't make this up. And so I'm just going to go through some of the things that happened to me on these days. And some of them are very small, and you can laugh at some of them or whatnot, but to me they're very significant. So Saturday was the first day I tried it, and I was at the grocery store in the morning, and I was picking up some milk, as we always have to go pick up milk, and I was in the checkout line. And there was these gold chocolates that were sitting in the checkout line, and I actually brought you just to show you what kind of these chocolates, right? And really nice chocolates. And I never had any type of passion or any want or desire for these chocolates, right? And I looked at it, and I was thinking, maybe I should buy some, because I was thinking, hey, this would go good well with milk. But ended up happening where the checker was like, hey, are you going to pay for this? I said, sure. So I didn't end up buying it. And so later on that day, I went to our satsang group, which is on Saturday, and lo and behold, during the snack time, there was 30 of these things sitting there for me to actually try. Not even joking. Okay? And that was the first thing that happened on Saturday. I cannot even make this up. All right, so Sunday rolls around, right? And Sunday is what? Is time to do work, chores, right? And so my mom comes to me, and we usually have a maid that cleans our house and all that. And she hadn't been to the house for a little while, And she had asked me, hey, can you clean your bathroom? Meaning, can you clean your bathroom? Can you wipe down the toilet? Can you, do all that stuff? And without hesitation, I said absolutely. And I actually did it, and I spent 45 minutes polishing the bathroom, the toilet, without even a doubt or any type of anger towards my mom. And it was just a great experience, just cleaning the bathroom, not even joking, okay? And I started to realize this day, my thought process was so much smoother. I'm not even kidding, smoother, clearer, and it was just starting to emanate from within. And you're going to see a couple more examples that kind of evidences this emanation. So Monday comes, and with my mother, being single, mom lives with me, or I live with mom, whatever, and so we're always in close contact with each other, right? So differences can happen. And I didn't have any differences with her the whole week. And if I did, I was very quick to realize it and kind of correct my mistake if I had the differences. So that happened. So that was kind of on Monday. So Tuesday comes around, and recently in my life, I've been kind of looking to switch gears in my career, right? So I've been doing the sales thing. I've been managing some sales reps, and I've been trying to get into the hotel business. I've talked to a few Mahatmas here about it, and I have my uncle actually looking for motels for me, in different states and whatnot, and so we're looking to try to purchase, a property. And there was a market we were looking at, Austin, Texas, right? It was a hot market, really good market, and I asked my uncle, who was a broker, to go reach out to a few hotels and to get some information back, on these hotels. And this has been going on for the last 4 to 5 months. So I'll find a market, I'll look for hotels, my uncle will go and do some, investigation, get the information, and then, whatever happens. So what's been happening, as a lot of you know, is the real estate market is really hot. And a lot of these, in commercial real estate, a lot of the properties are just getting, the bids are really high. And so what's been happening is, whenever we have my uncle go and look for a property, what ends up happening is that it's already either in contract or it's already been sold. So there isn't much available that's been out there. So there's a lot of times where I find something, I'm like, this is great, okay, I can do this. I visualize myself there, all this and this, and then I get the information, the news from my uncle, and it's, it's sold. So then I get disappointed. So that day, on Tuesday, my uncle comes back to me on the Austin hotels, and he says, look, there's 3 hotels, all of these are under contract. And I said, okay. And at that second, I wanted to be disappointed, but I couldn't. And I just kind of took it with a grain of salt, and I just said, you know what? There's something else out there for me. And it was more of a reaction, something that I normally don't react that way. And so that was something that was just, it was fantastic when I had that phone call and I got off the phone with my uncle. Also on Tuesday, and let me know about time too if I'm going too long. On Tuesday was, I'm a big sports fan, right? So here right now we have the NBA Finals that were going on. On Tuesday was Game 6 of the NBA Finals. We had the Golden State Warriors playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I've been following the season the whole year. I invested a lot of time into watching basketball, watched the playoffs, watched the finals, and so here I am on Game 6. And I'm ready for the Warriors to win the championship. It's the 3rd quarter, I'm at home, I'm watching it alone, having a good time. And what happens is the power goes out. Okay, I'm not even kidding. So the power goes out on our whole street, okay? And so I'm like, really, this is incredible, because I invested this much time and effort into watching basketball, and I was looking forward to seeing the Warriors win the championship, watching the ceremony and all that, and the power goes out. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? So immediately I would have thought, again, to be angry or be disappointed. And again, when that happened, I was just like, you know what, it just happened. It happened for a reason. And I'm just one of the evidences in this circumstance that's happening now. And the way I reacted, I wasn't angry, because normally I would have got angry. I would have been like, what? This is ridiculous, right? The power goes out. And ended up happening where I didn't get to watch it. Power didn't come back to the next day. I guess somebody must have ran into the the electricity pole or something. But it was just an unbelievable in the sense that I was not upset, and I got the score the next day. I watched everything on replay, and it wasn't that bad. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, I mean, this gets pretty good. So watch this. So Wednesday, I wake up on Wednesday, no power, right? At least I got my phone; it's half charged. And I told you I wanted to, switch careers, right? So I've been looking at kind of switching careers, maybe going back into sales, because right now I'm doing some sales managing, and it's good, but I think there's more money in sales. And I've been looking at a company right now. It's called Stryker. They're a big medical device company. They do extremely well, very profitable. Sales reps make a ton of money. And I had an interview with them about 3 months ago, and the interview went really well. But what ended up happening was they took an internal candidate over me. And so that was a little bit disappointing. And this company is basically a very tough company to get a job for. Everybody wants in. It's extremely competitive. They pick the best talent. They don't really go after anybody. Everybody comes to them. So that happened a few months ago. So I woke up on Wednesday, and in my LinkedIn mailbox was basically an invitation from a Stryker recruiter to do a phone interview that day. Okay? So then I did the interview that day, and she said, you know what? We have an interview. The hiring managers are coming around. They're actually going to be in LA at the Marriott in LAX on Thursday. Can you make that interview? And I said, absolutely. Right? So I woke up and I've got this now. I've got the company I'm trying to get into. They're reaching out to me with an invitation for an interview on Thursday. So I'm like, this is crazy, right? I mean, this could be coincidental, but there may be some connection going on between the chanting that I'm doing in the morning and something going on that day, right? So that happened on Wednesday, okay? Another thing that's a little odd, okay, is that in our house on the downstairs first floor we have a bathroom, and there's this toilet, right? And I've been trying to fix this toilet for like 2 months, okay? Some of the people in my friends know about it. People who've been to our house, know about it. And I've been pretty stubborn about trying to fix this damn thing, right? And I ended up getting to the part where there's a gasket that goes on, and I couldn't get the gasket on properly. That's what I ended up figuring out. So for 2 months, I've been trying to fix this toilet. So we haven't had a toilet downstairs, okay? So that Thursday, my mom goes to the next door neighbor. The neighbor somehow has some workers there, brings one of the workers over to our house, speaks some Korean, Spanish, something of nature. Me and this person get on the toilet, we work on the toilet. In 5 minutes, we fix the toilet.
Is it working though?
And the toilet's working. I'm happy to report the toilet's working. All right, so that might be the biggest thing out of this whole thing. Is the toilet working? All right, so that was amazing. Okay, so these are some small things I'm telling you, but this is what's happening. You're starting to look for the positivity that's going on in your life. It's changing your mindset and your viewpoint, and it's ridiculous.
How many minutes are you chanting?
So I was doing it 48 minutes because that's optimal, but even 10 minutes, even 8 minutes makes a big difference. 8 minutes. All you need is 8 minutes, and try it. That's all. And that's kind of the ending of my, what I was going to kind of allude to. But so now we're on. What are we at?
Friday.
We're on Thursday. No, we're Friday. We're Friday. What are we at? Oh, we're Thursday. I'm going to go through every single one of these. All right. So Thursday I have the interview. So I actually have the interview with Stryker. I meet the hiring managers. They love me, right? That's no surprise, right? so they meet me, they interview me, they like me, right? It was a two-on-one interview, so it was a tough interview, and so that went really well. And then on Thursday Deepak Anandji had come in from India, and we had a satsang that day at the Sanatan Mandir. And again, remember, I'm still thinking about the hotel thing as well. So I'm doing, looking for the new job, but also looking for investment as well. And I've been looking in kind of the Indio area. There's been some properties there, Palm Desert, Palm Springs. And this is after the satsang has finished. We're in the dinner line. And I'm getting my plate and all this stuff, and the person next to me happens to be Mahesh Bhai, Sonal-bin's, Prabhu Uncle's son-in-law, right? And Mahesh Bhai, for those of you who don't know, owns a motel in Palm Springs and was looking for somebody to talk to about maybe leasing his property out. So this person now is connected with me, right? This happening on Thursday, so it's almost like the inner desires are getting fulfilled by the nature. So I meet Mahesh Bhai, and I haven't seen Mahesh Bhai for a long time, but I happen to just stand next to him, and I mentioned motel, and he turns around, and he's like, hey, guess what? I've got a motel, let's talk. So we ended up talking for 35, 40 minutes right after satsang. And so that was fantastic. And then Friday comes. Friday, I wake up, and I get the call back for the third interview. So the interview went well on Thursday. They love me so much that I've got an interview this Tuesday with Gallup, which is a third-party company that does interviews, which is basically the step into getting this job. So I get the good news for Tuesday for this interview. So that was good. And then, you know, my car's been dirty. So it's been hot and there's been rain. I tried to wait for the rain, and it hasn't been raining. So I was like, okay, I gotta get this thing washed, right? So I got this electric car, and it's, you know, it's kind of quirky, whatever. But so I take the car to get washed on Friday, and I roll up to the guy, and the guy, you know how this works. The guy comes, he's like, "Do you want the $100 wax?" And I'm like, "No, dude, just give me the cheapest thing there is, right? Barely put some water on it and get it done." But this guy said, "You know what? It's your lucky day. Our machine is broke. We're giving out free waxes." So I get a wax. Okay, so this is Friday. It's crazy. I get the gold package for the basic package. It's great. All right. So then Friday evening comes, and my eye starts to hurt. Right. So this is why my eye is a little red. It's been infected. I got a conjunctivitis on it. It's called pink eye. But Friday, my eye is starting to get red. It's starting to hurt a lot. And it's kind of Friday night. We come home, and you know, we have fortunately, we have a lot of physicians here in the satsang. And Shil, who is Punimanti and Kirtankul's younger son, he's an ophthalmologist, so he's a medical surgeon. And so I ended up texting him late at night, about 9:30, 9:45, and I didn't know if I had the right number. So I texted him. I said, "Hey Shil, you know, my eye's been hurting, and it's red, and it's, you know, blah 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 blah, and you know, what should I do?" And he didn't respond. Right. So then, yes. So this is Saturday. So now we're on Saturday, right? So I come in on Saturday, which was yesterday at the holistic seminar. So I walk in, and guess who's the first person I see? Shil. No joke. So I see Shil and his wife, who's an optometrist. So they both look at my eye. They diagnose it. They say, yeah, clearly it's conjunctivitis. You need these drops. Take them. It's going to take you a couple of days for the drops, you know, the eye to get better. And yeah, so I end up, you know, that was quite convenient. So he ends up, you know, coming into contact with me on the next day. So that was Saturday, right? Was that Saturday? Yeah, that was Saturday. All right, so almost done with this, and then so last day, so Saturday. So then halfway through the seminar, I had to go to a niece's birthday party in LA, in Santa Monica. So I had to leave the seminar. And, you know, I'm driving on the 405. I'm in the passenger seat. And, you know, 405 is just bumper to bumper traffic. People are pissed off. They hate it. They don't like you. You know, everybody's mad. They want to get somewhere. They want to get, you know, basically cutting people off. We're driving in the 405. And I look over. And again, this could be coincidence, okay? But, you know, if you piece as many of these things together, there's something weird happening. So I look over in the next lane in the 405 as we're driving to Santa Monica, and I just look at her, and she looks back at me, and she just gives me the biggest smile. I mean, it was just like, it was great. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. You know, I felt like I was in the moment, and she was a big smile, and I was like, wow, on the 405, this is amazing. You know, and so I was like, there's something going on here. And so then we get to the party, and I see my Nourish Mama who's there. You know, I don't think he's here today, but and I kind of start telling him, I'm like, hey, listen, you know, I'm giving this talk tomorrow about giving my experience.
What happened to the girl?
Oh, the girl at 4 or 5. Oh no, she just kept driving. No, I got. Then I would. That's another day. That's another day. So Saturday. So okay. I'm at the party, right? So I'm at the niece's birthday party. A bunch of 3-year-olds running around. And I talked to my Nourish mama because he's there because it's the same cousin. Cousin, my niece. And I start telling him, I'm like, hey, I got this experience that I've been doing, this experiment that I've been doing, and I don't really know how to kind of put it all together. And so he starts coming up with these ideas. He's like, you know what? This is what's going on. He's like, basically, what's going on is you're creating from your inner soul, you're creating these projections of positivity, and that is being received by other people, and then that is coming back to you. And so he basically was able to verbalize what was going on that whole week, because I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have come up here without meeting him on Sunday, and so Saturday. So I saw him yesterday, and so that was my experience. So, anything from chocolates to getting an interview to toilets and all this stuff. We had a lot of stuff happen to me this week, and it was really good. It was a positive week. And aside from just the reason I share the happenings is because that was the evidence that I wanted to show you that there was a cause or something was happening, and then there was a result of something happening, right? There was an effect. And that's what scientists do. They do a lot of, as Deepak Bhai was talking about, theory and practicality. You do a lot of practicality, then you come up with a theory. Well, we already have a theory. I just wanted to prove that this theory of doing this Asing Jajikaro really works. So I put it in practice and then reconfirm this theory that's already been in place. So for me, so lastly, I just kind of want to conclude by saying that, two things. One is the credit goes to the master. Okay, so no credit is here. Credit always goes to the master. I mean, my master is Dadaji, and so he speaks through me, and that's always the case. And secondly, I want to say that I encourage everybody to try it. If we get some time today, we can try a little bit of the singing, maybe a little bit. Close your eyes, visualize the words, clap, so you get mind, body, speech all as one. Make sure you're doing all three. And even if we don't do it here, but try it tomorrow if you have a second to do it for 8 minutes, uninterrupted, and just see what happens and share your experiences. Thank you.
I do have a question. Did you invite that girl to our satsang?
Thank you, Manan, for sharing your experiment with us. As you can tell by his story, there's a lot of positive energy surrounding Manan today. So at the end of the seminar, he's going to be giving out free hugs. So please take advantage of that.
More young people than miss the first hug.
There you go. Someone take advantage. Our next speaker has been a part of the JS Sangh for over 30 years after meeting Dada Bhagwan in 1985. She says her life has changed immensely with all of his blessings, and she would like to share her experiences with you. Please welcome Bhabna Sangvi.
Jai Sachidananda, everybody. I would like to share my experience of Dada teaching, blessing, guidance that helped me to go through the most serious tragedy in my life that happened in 1996. In my young age, with the force of my parents and my husband, I was led to Dada Satsang and also to the religion activities, which I didn't like it in the beginning, But I was thinking, oh, I have to go because everybody's telling me to go. I will use it when I get old. So I said, just take all the knowledge right now and I'll use it when I need it. My only one son, who was everything to me in my life, in 1996, I received a call. I did not get a call. My husband got a call saying he's no more in this world. I was not told. My husband decided to take me to India, but I didn't know the reason why I was going to the India. But going on the way, it takes about 48 hours to get there on those days. We had a halt and all that. So my husband constantly telling me about 5 agnyas and getting me ready for what it was coming to me. But I didn't know what was going on. And then what happened once I got there, all that 5 agnyas was in my mind, but then when I went to the airport, I got some kind of a suspect something went wrong with my life. My family took me to one of Mahatma's house where Dada's picture was in front of me. So I can see Dada's picture, and then my brother shared the news with me at that time. This is what I had, when I looked at Dada's picture, this is what I was given a direction from Dada, and I'm going to share that with you. This is one of the 5 agnyas that Dada was telling me. Your karma with your son is over. Banu Tianai, I'm going to say in Gujarati because I don't know how to make it in English, but I'm sure half of the people can understand. Banu Tianai, Vyavasthit Sakti, which I cannot change it. You cannot change the destiny of anybody's life. And that part gave me so much peace even at that moment. And from that day to now, I am able to live peaceful life in my, and people are wondering how Bhavna is living. She had only one son. No, I have so much peace in my mind because of Dada's guidance that I'm going through. And it's helping me each and every step that I'm taking in my life. So I wanted to share this with you just to let you know that I was thinking I'm not going to use this Gyan right now. Maybe when I get old, I will do it. But that's not true. You don't know when you get to use this. So I encourage everybody to go through 5 agnyas and whatever we can get a good teaching from Dada Bhagwan Satsang. Jai Satchidanand.
Very nice.
Thank you, Bhavna Auntie, for sharing that emotional story with us. At this juncture, I'd like to ask the 3 speakers that we had today to come up to the table for a Q&A session. And while they come up to the table, I just wanted to ask everyone, you should have received this white form when you signed up at the registration desk. If you'll be so kindly to fill this out at the end of the seminar, it'll be really beneficial for us to create better seminars for you in the future. Thank you.
what people are doing is taking restroom break. That's what is happening.
So there's no time for the break. We can do 5 minutes break. That's
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you.